Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We're following that breaking news in Branford. Police are investigating a homicide. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. Police tell us they do have someone in custody. The investigation is happening at our home on Hemlock Road, and police are asking people to avoid that area for the time being. We do have a Fox 61 News crew headed to Branford, and we will continue to update you as we learn more. Well, a man wanted in several states is off the streets tonight and behind bars. Bridgeport police captured him Wednesday after they saw him chasing a woman with a knife. And new here at 6 moments ago, police say the suspect, Nicholas Allwood, is now charged with attempted murder after they say he stabbed a man earlier that day.
Fox 61's Jamel Johnson's in Bridgeport and breaks down what led to Allwood's arrest.
Police were hot on the trail of a man wanted for a stabbing, and it was on Gregory Street in Bridgeport where they arrested the man in what they're calling a life-saving effort. Nicholas Allwood,
the stabbing which led to the original engagement with Mr. Allwood,
also known by his nickname Hothead, faced a judge Wednesday for charges including first-degree kidnapping and second-degree assault.
Because of the bond on the extradition being removed, the state does believe for the safety of all of the public, based on his behavior, the state would ask for $1 million.
Police say they found Allwood on Gregory Street Wednesday afternoon running after a woman with a knife. Detective Jeffrey Holt says the woman, who goes by Carlson, told police she had been held against her will inside Allwood's home. Detectives say Carlson and Allwood were in a domestic relationship.
He saw the unmarked vehicles out there, made us, in that parlance, and she realized this was probably her chance to escape. She came running out of the house while officers were sitting on the house. Nicholas Allwood followed out of the house with a knife.
Holt says this wouldn't be officers' first run-in with Allwood.
On Easter morning, Hothead was shot and gave us a fictitious name. It took us a couple of days to identify him.
That fake name was Jermaine Morgan.
We knew it wasn't real, but at that point he's a victim. So we can't detain him, we can't hold him. So at that point, our focus was to identify him, and we spent the next couple of days working on that, and we did get him identified, and that set the whole process in motion for what transpired yesterday.
They would link Allwood to a stabbing on February 11th and another one just hours before he was arrested.
At about 10 o'clock, a stabbing came in. Same victim as the first stabbing. And that victim stated that Hothead, AKA Nicholas Allwood, had stabbed him again. You hear this all the time, but Bridgeport is a safer place now that he's off the streets.
The judge also mentioned Allwood has pending charges, including an attempted murder in New York. She set his bond at $1 million, and his next court date is May 8th. In Bridgeport, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
All right, Jamel, thank you. The state's Inspector General, Robert Devlin, has ruled that a West Haven police officer was justified in shooting and killing a man 2 years ago.
Here's Fox 61's Tim Lammers with more on what was in that report. Tim.
Well, Devlin did find the officer was justified because that man had shot another officer in the leg just seconds earlier and was still fighting with police to try to hold on to the gun after that. Now, we are about to show you 3 different police body cam videos of what happened. And while we won't show you the deadly gunshots, keep in mind, it still might be hard for some of you to watch. The report was about the death of 33-year-old Javon Washington. It said back on the morning of December 1st, 2023, West Haven police were called to an apartment on 296 Terrace Avenue for a domestic violence complaint. Officers decided to arrest Washington, and Officer Cody Bacon urged Washington to get dressed.
All right, you want to grab some pants or something?
Everything is over.
Yeah, go grab them. I would suggest like some sweatpants, you know what I mean?
7 seconds later, Washington reaches for clothes in his closet, stops, briefly raises his hands, and then lunges for a gun under his bed. And in the ensuing struggle, a gunshot. That shot hit Officer Bacon in his left thigh. From Officer Bacon's body cam, you can see the green laser sight on Washington's gun as Bacon put his hand on the gun's slide as the two fought for control. That laser sight was pointed near a third officer, Alex Triscritti, who called for help and briefly took cover.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Before firing 3 shots at Washington's chest. For the next 11 seconds, Washington groaned in pain but didn't let go of the gun, despite the officers repeatedly telling him to drop it. He eventually dropped the gun after a fourth gunshot to the chest. And police said Washington was saying the words, "I'm dead," over and over after that fourth gunshot. Although Officer Trischetti did perform CPR until firefighters arrived, Washington was pronounced dead at a hospital 42 minutes later. As for Officer Bacon, who was shot in the thigh, he has since recovered. In the studio, I'm Tim Lammers, Fox 61.
Right. Thank you, Tim. Let's turn it over to the weather now. The warm weather returning here. Rain, though, is moving in.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. Rach, it's been a great stretch, but we're coming down to the end of it. Huh?
Yeah, we have a few chances for showers and storms, and especially wet heading into next week. The good news is the rain that's moving in tonight will be mostly while we sleep, but we can't say the same thing for all of it this weekend. 68 degrees in Hartford. We're right around 60 for the New Haven area, and tomorrow will be even warmer. Here's a look at some showers and storms that we're tracking moving through Pennsylvania. And even though temperatures here are pretty cool, I mean in the 50s, that doesn't exactly scream thunderstorms, there is just enough instability for us to see a scattered downpour or rumble of thunder overnight. Look, this is 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, so don't be surprised if you get woken up. Just know that we're not expecting any severe weather. Hopefully that lets you go back to sleep. We'll start the day off with some clouds. It's a little murky out there to start, but once we break for sun, temperatures will take off, and it turns out to be even warmer. Low temperatures tonight, right around 50 degrees. Heading through the day tomorrow, we start off with clouds and temperatures in the 50s, but once we break for sun, those temperatures will take off into the mid and even upper 70s. Not as warm at the shoreline. We're looking at highs near 70 degrees. But we do see a beautiful finish to the day. We'll talk about the weekend forecast and time out more showers and storms coming up.
We have a warning tonight from police about home improvement scams. 2 people were arrested after police say they scammed a homeowner out of hundreds of dollars and attempted to scam another.
Fox 61's Alicia Hercules has the details from Windsor Locks.
Police say a man came to a homeowner's door offering to seal his driveway for just $500. He paid them, but the contractors never finished the work. Mitch Del Maro and Paul Del Maro, both from New York State, were arrested Wednesday after Windsor Locks police say they scammed a homeowner on Alicia Terrace.
And they charged him $500, which is actually a good price for this kind of thing. And all of a sudden, mysteriously, they decided they don't have enough materials and they need to go an additional $600, now making it $1,100.
Lieutenant Paul Cherniak says once the contractors upped the price, the homeowner refused to give them any more money.
They took the money and ran at that point.
After taking the money, police say the contractors went just a few blocks over to Gary Road and tried to scam another homeowner.
Officers were able to spot them. They were searching, canvassing the area, looking for their vehicle, and they did actually find them.
This time, officers were able to stop them before they took any money. Cherniak says these scams happen often, especially when the weather warms up and more people begin to plan more home improvement projects.
When people solicit door-to-door like that, we find that there's a lot of associated issues with that. Sometimes they're not licensed, which is the most important thing.
Cherniak says it's important to verify all contractors you hire to do work on your home.
If it seems too good, it probably is a scam. And if you still believe in what they're selling, check them out first. Ask for their licensing numbers. You can verify that stuff online.
The Del Maros are out on bond. Both are charged with larceny and acting as a home improvement contractor without a license. In Windsor Locks, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Glastonbury driver has been charged. Police say he hit and killed a person with his car. 61-year-old Philip Burleson was walking with a group on Glastonbury Boulevard in January when police say Michael Taylor hit him. Taylor cooperated with police throughout their investigation. Police say he was driving too fast. He was arrested last week and was charged with negligent homicide. Taylor will be back in court in a couple weeks.
New Haven police are looking for the person who shot a man just about 24 hours ago. Officers responded to Foxen Boulevard and Eastern Street just before 7 p.m., and that's where they found a 38-year-old man suffering from several gunshot wounds. He is expected to be okay tonight. If you know anything about that shooting, you are asked to contact New Haven Police.
After school activities have been canceled today for all Thompson public schools while police search for a bank robbery suspect. Here's what we know so far about that robbery. The bank on Riverside Drive was robbed around 12:30 this afternoon. We're told the man who robbed the bank was armed. He was wearing all black. It's unclear right now how much he took off with, but we have a reporter heading to the scene to learn more for us. And once again, this is an active police investigation, so all after-school activities in Thompson have been canceled.
Plainville police need your help to identify a thief. Police say they are looking for this person. We're told he stole from a Lowe's on April 21st around 9:30 in the morning, and officials say he left in a green Honda with the Florida license plate you see here. If you know this person or know anything about the incident, you are asked to give Plainville police a call. And Governor Ned Lamont's consensus revenue report says Connecticut is left with the second largest surplus in state history at $2.3 billion. The report shows surging income and business tax receipts helped our state pocket more money, but officials are divided on whether to use it to ease the federal funding cuts. Despite Connecticut's increased sales tax revenue, it's coming to a halt. Analysts say there will be no more growth next fiscal year. The executive and legislative branches are currently negotiating a budget, which is due next month. We'll keep you updated on the budget talks on air and online at fox61.com.
Demonstrators were out in Hartford today. They're part of May Day protests happening all across the country. And their message in Hartford is now is the time to act to give Connecticut families what they need and deserve. Demonstrators waved their signs and chanted as they marched from Bushnell Park to the state capitol for International Workers' Day. Most of their criticism was lobbed at the Trump administration, calling their policies anti-working class. They say they have grievances with the immigration crackdowns and frozen federal funds that have led to layoffs.
Affirming the contributions of working people and, especially the working poor who make up so much of Hartford, and calling on our legislature in particular to use its huge surplus to lift up essential services, to fight back against federal cuts, to focus on the working class, which is what makes this state and this country what it is.
Protesters want the state to put surplus money toward bridging these funding gaps.